Justice Elena Kagan says the Supreme Court has stood up to Trump in key cases. Speaking at an annual meeting of judges and lawyers in Bellevue, Washington, hosted by the Ninth Circuit, the liberal justice pushed back against the idea that the court has become a rubber stamp for the Trump administration. She told the audience that while the court is indeed conservative and has issued rulings that line up with the conservative legal agenda, such as granting the president broad authority to remove heads of independent agencies and weakening the Voting Rights Act of 1965, she rejects the claim that the justices simply follow the White House's lead. Is this court very conservative? She asked. Does it do a bunch of things that are out of the playbook of the conservative legal movement that I think are deeply wrong? Yes. But she added, but is this court kind of a puppet for the current administration? I think definitely not. Justice Kagan made these comments while answering questions posed by an appeals court judge and a lawyer in front of dozens of attendees who work in the 9-state western region served by the circuit. She noted that public trust in the Supreme Court has been declining, and that several justices have used recent public appearances to try to dispel the notion that they have become political actors. Since President Trump returned to office, the court has signed off on a series of his policies on a temporary basis through emergency orders that have allowed the administration to carry out many executive orders while their legality was still being weighed in court. Yet, when asked how she views criticism of the court for greenlighting those administration policies, Justice Kagan insisted the reality of the court's record is more nuanced. In its most recent term, which ended in late June, the court cleared the way for a number of long-term conservative goals, she observed. She cited decisions that allow the president sweeping power to fire leaders of independent agencies and that significantly weaken the Voting Rights Act of 1965, a cornerstone of civil rights legislation. At the same time, she stressed that a majority of the justices have repeatedly joined together to reject Mr. Trump's initiatives. Specifically, the court invalidated the administration's sweeping emergency tariffs, struck down an executive order that would have ended birthright citizenship for children of undocumented immigrants and certain temporary foreign visitors, and blocked Trump's attempt to fire a member of the Federal Reserve Board of Governors. Justice Kagan said she was in the majority in each of those cases, joined by her two fellow liberal justices and several justices appointed by Republican presidents. She argued that labeling the court as a puppet for the current administration is a bad rap, emphasizing that the institution has not simply gone along with the White House's agenda. The justice concluded by saying she does not see the court as one that will just rubber stamp what the current administration does, quite the opposite. Thanks for listening.